Here is how we went from this to this in just 48 hours. All right, so this client reached out to us because she had been struggling with the brand identity of her institution. And it was a very challenging moment for us because we had a couple of projects we were struggling around on, but this came in as an emergency and needed immediate intervention. First off, to kick off the project, we had a meeting to understand clearly the stakes of her situation. What is the vision of the brand? What do they want to represent, and how do they want to be represented? So we had all of these and took down notes on every key element. Particularly, we had to understand the vision, we had to understand the vision, we had to understand how to craft a strategy around this mission and vision to make the school portray an excellent image that communicates these values. And so we had just 48 hours to do this. We started by coming out with various concepts on paper, of course, sketching out. Note, for this particular branding, we never use the stylescape. Usually we'll create a stylescape, send for validation, but there was no time. We had to create everything, believing in our ability to solve the problem and just solving it and going. So no stylescape, we just basically had 3 sketches of the logo and then choose the best, which you can see. From sketching, we moved it to Illustrator to actually illustrate it out, and then from there we are able to apply it on mock-ups and real-time scenarios where the logo is going to be applied. From this, we understand exactly how functional it's going to be. We now had to develop the brand guide. Within 48 hours. So we now set up to be like, okay, let's put the use cases of all of this. Remember, this has not yet been validated, but we enter and lay out our brand guide template already, very sharp, very fast, and then the brand guide is ready. So what next? Prepare the presentation. We went into PowerPoint in this case and set up the presentation layout following our traditional formula. So we put out the presentation clearly mapped out, and then we called for a meeting. This is exactly 32 hours later. We called for a meeting and presented the logo. Fortunately for us, we got it right. And mind you, this was gotten right because the clients loved it, they validated it, it went all out to represent exactly what was in their mind. If I may repeat some of the words, it's as though you entered in my head and removed exactly what I wanted to represent. This is a symbol that you succeeded in carrying out the task very, very well. But one thing you should note here is the fact that this identity was actually a rebrand. So something had existed before. There was more information to work with. So the success of this project actually comes from keen listening during the meeting. That is where you get to take all the notes, get to jot the emotional points, get to capture the key element that must not be missing. In this brand identity, you can see the star that represents excellence, you can see the waves that represent challenges, you can see the crown that represents victory, success, and royalty. At the end of the day, we put all of this together, and Self Academy is happily existing and using our brand element, and we keep working to improve on it day in, day out. That being said, see you in the next one.